Hey, I'm Alex Tyler and I lead the alts practice here at PS Kinetic. I'm here today with Ingolf Ernest. Ingolf co-founded PS Kinetic over 10 years ago following a successful career at Goldman Sachs. Ingolf, you and I often talk about your experiences at Goldman, but one question I always had is why did you leave Goldman and set up PS Kinetic?
Thanks, Alex. Look, first, as you said, I had an incredible time at Goldman. I was given a chance to work in London, Frankfurt, and New York, across banking, leveraged finance, private capital, with a bunch of great people. But I guess I've always been interested in tech and seeing how the potential and the accelerating potential of technology. The other thing I felt I saw was a bit of a gap in the market. Many firms had invested very heavily into tech, but sort of failed to connect the systems and the processes. And I guess I thought that the idea of helping clients generate return by connecting these systems would make a lot of sense. And we refer to that as applying intelligent glue.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, Ingolf, and I fully understand that principle. You and I have a lot of interesting conversations day in, day out with both business and technology leaders in this space. What are your main learning lessons for the last 10 to 15 years?
Well, it's interesting. Obviously, in the last 15 years, you've had massive AUM growth, clear. I guess the two other phenomena that is changing the strategy of these firms, maybe a little bit, is you have had a number of firms going public, and maybe the most recent phenomenon is you had investors buying minority stakes in these alternative or private capital managers.
Yeah, what I'm really keen to do is pull this back towards more of a tech perspective for our listeners. What are the key technological challenges for this industry moving forward?
In essence, these firms are becoming more like traditional asset managers, and the investors value them based on predictable revenues, diversified revenues. So these firms are increasingly applying or developing new strategies, new products, new geographies, and it makes it really complex to run these businesses. And of course, you have increased drive on the compliance side, increased requirements on the reporting side, but maybe most fundamentally is this idea that since they're becoming valued as firms or businesses, the idea of driving operational efficiency is becoming top priority.
And we wouldn't be having a conversation unless I asked you to give us some predictions for 2022 and beyond. What are your predictions, Ingolf?
Well, look, I think we've both seen the Morgan Stanley report talking about a near doubling of AUM over, I think, by 2025. So this breathtaking pace is likely to continue, and I think the focus. So what I hear leaders say is really, Ingolf, how do we get to double AUM and keep headcount constant?
And have you got any advice for COOs and CTOs in our space as they move forward with their digital transformation?
Well, I think the guys who have a tough job here are the people in tech and on the ops side, because these firms are mostly run by people who are on the investment team, the initial deal doer or trader, and getting through the message of the need to sort of build well-oiled machines, and that's critical for success, I think is a challenge on that group has to grapple with.